put your lips close to mine, as long as they don't touch. Out of focus, eye to eye, so the gravity's too much. I'll do it.
Hello, Perfect Beauties. Today's episode is choosing happiness and the currency of happiness. And I sound like one of those like new age like blogger, like scientific PhD people kind of show thing, but I just really like went on a stream of consciousness and decided to write about, talk about choosing happiness, because I think it's something that we are always fighting to be happy. Every single human being struggles to be happy. Listen to me. Every single human being struggles to be happy. And happiness comes in, different forms, right? Some people think if I look a certain way, I'm going to be happy. So they go under the knife, they starve themselves, they do all this stuff because they think once I look like Adriana Lima, I'm going to be happy, right? Some people, they're like, if I make so much money and I get to the top of the corporate ladder, I'm going to be happy. Other people think, if I marry this guy, my Prince Charming, and I have to marry him, I'm going to be happy. Some other people are like, if only I get these pair of shoes or this house or, get this blah, 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 I will be happy. All this kind of stuff. Everyone is struggling to be happy, but they don't realize that they have to work at being happy. It's kind of like a mental Jedi game you play with yourself to be happy. It's not that if I look like Adriana Lima, I'm gonna be happy. Of course Adriana Lima is freaking gorgeous, like drop dead gorgeous, but I'm not exactly sure that she's happier than a lot of people in the world. Just from the outside superficial appearance of people, you don't know what goes on in their heads. And sometimes these people who seem to have it all, right, the people who are just so rich and glamorous and all that, you think sometimes they're the least unhappy people. Happiness is something like anything in life, it takes work to be happy. Happiness is a choice. Happiness is a choice, okay? I practice being happy so often. I practice it like I practice yoga. Change your situation or you think differently. You have, and there's some things in my life I can't change, right? There's just some things that I really don't like, that I can't change, so therefore I've trained my mind to think differently about a situation, okay? I am the most valuable asset, and my happiness is the most valuable asset of anything. It's the most valuable currency I have. I think of happiness, as I said in my kind of haters video, haters how to deal, link that below. Happiness is like a currency, right? And that is the most expensive currency that everyone in this world is trying to find. Everyone in this world is seeking happiness. Do you understand that? People, spend so long trying to work and make millions and millions of dollars because they think once they reach the top, they're gonna be happy. People spend going under plastic surgery and mutilating their bodies and their faces and all that because they think once they get there, they're going to be happy. So happiness is really the most valuable currency. And if you're happy, you're seriously like the richest person in the world. Like if you're happy, what can hurt you? What can hurt you? And so every time, all the minutes and seconds that I'm happy, I think of almost like putting happiness tokens in a big shiny piggy bank, and I think I'm so rich with happiness. And every time, I agonize over things that I can't really change, or agonize over things people say about me, or just negativity, I think of someone stealing away my tokens, my happiness tokens, and I'm like, oh, I don't want anyone to steal them away. I want all the happiness tokens I can get. And I always remember that our life is so finite. Our life is so finite. I'm gonna say this today, but tomorrow I could be 80 years old, and I'm gonna look back and I'm gonna be like, why did I spend that time being so sad? Why did I spend that time in those situations that made me so unhappy? What Why? Why? Why was I in those situations? You know, if you're in a bad relationship, try to fix it. Try to talk to the person. Try to, you know, try to figure out a strategy to fix whatever problem it is, right? And if you can't, you know, fix it, if you've tried and tried and tried, then maybe it is time to break up with them or, you know, move on to better, greener pastures, right? But if you're in that relationship and you're really miserable and you're not doing anything about it, it's really kind of almost your fault that you're not happy. You know, you can't just, it's almost kind of your fault that you're not happy because you can do things about it. How do I make myself happy? When I am sad, I take a notebook and I write down for 1 minute, I set the timer on my clock and I just write everything that makes me happy, like everything that I'm happy or appreciative about, you know. And when you force yourself to sit down and for, you know, a few minutes, just force yourself to write as many things as you can think of why you're happy or why you're thankful or why you love life, whatever you're frustrated with, it doesn't seem like that big of a deal anymore. Certain times, like when am I not happy? Well, of course I get rejected, yes. Of course I fail sometimes, yes. Of course things don't come out the way I expect them to, yes. But when that happens, it's kind of like, oh, like a little light goes on. It's like, oh, okay, now we're going to do some exercises and train your mind to get yourself through it. Because every single minute you agonize over reasons you suck or reasons you're terrible or reasons, you know, anyone else is mean or says whatever they say is a waste of your time. It's a waste of your spend that minute working on perfect beauty. You know, I could spend that minute exercising. I could spend that minute with my brother or spend that minute meeting people, you know, and spend that minute like going swimming in the ocean. I don't want to spend that time crying in my closet because of what someone said to me. It takes a lot of work to be happy, but you have to realize that every minute you spend agonizing or any minute you spend focusing on such negative things and just overanalyzing things that you can't control is kind of like, think of someone stealing away your happiness tokens, right? And the number of happiness tokens or how many happiness tokens you have is the like best currency in the world. Like it is higher than like the British pound. You know, it is like the big currency or whatever, the most valuable currency there. You don't want inflation, you don't want depreciation, you want it up there, right? And so make sure that you really take the time and effort to make yourself happy, okay? Nobody is just born out of the woo happy all the time, right? And stay tuned for this makeup tutorial. I'm really loving this look. I'm kind of obsessed with that. And I'll see you guys later. Bye!
Out of focus, eye to eye, so the gravity's too much. I'll do anything you say.